Hello, welcome to Jennifer's Magical Book Club. Today I am here to read a novel which is called Paperboy. I'm going to continue back from chapter 14, so I'm going to start. On Friday afternoon, Ma'am said she hated to stove up the kitchen with it being so hot, but that she had in mind to bake a dip dish pie for my parents who were coming home Saturday. I was on my last day of the route, and then Red would be back to take it over. Ma'am told me she was going to the grocery store later on and might still be out while I got home from doing papers. Ma'am usually had the groceries delivered when my parents were away, but when she called the store to place her order, the grocery man told her the delivery boy had taken off because the heat had made him so light in the head that he couldn't ride his bicycle. We'll eat us a late supper after you're collected. Too hot for a body to eat at 5 o'clock anyhow. We can celebrate. That's right, little man. You had a fine July doing all those newspapers. I know Mr. Rat will be glad to see you. Rat would let me go with him and draw the paper route any time I wanted, but I was going to miss doing the route on my own, even if it was 100 degrees, and some of the other paper boys didn't play by the rules. As the newspaper dropped, the driver called out my bundle number. Rat's back tomorrow. The driver looked at me and nodded. It wasn't often I gave out information without being asked. I went over to slick-haired Willie, who was folding his papers, and stuck my bundle label in his face. That's mine, I said it in a loud voice to cut down on my chances of stuttering. I spread my feet a little and was ready to take whatever he had to offer. Willie surprised me. He looked at me and gave me a half of a smile. Take it easy, man. Everything's capacitic. I liked the way he said capacitic. Rat had heard the word on playground and thought it was something dirty, but I told him it just meant that everything was okay. A month before, I wouldn't have said anything to Willie. I would have just kept my mouth shut and stewed about him taking my bundle. The route was changing me. I didn't know if I was to tell Rat about standing up to Willie or about all my good conversations with Mr. Spyro. I knew I couldn't tell him about Mrs. Worthington, at least for a while. Rat wouldn't tell anybody else if I made him swear on the Bible not to, but I wanted to keep what happened for my own until I understood it better. I had looked for Mrs. Worthington every day, but she was staying inside with the door closed, even in all the heat. I was full of good throws on my last days of the route. End over end, sidearms, high shots, low shots, curves around posts. I even threw one through a porch railing. The folded newspaper split the small opening sleek as a whistle and came to rest against the house. I didn't miss one porch. I was counting on my last night of collecting being just as good as my last day of drawing. So I'm done till reading to page 163. I hope you enjoyed and have a nice day. Bye!